Sometimes superheroes get stuck or tricked into swapping their powers and often their bodies. Sometimes they have to swap for science! For science! But regardless of the reasons, whenever these swaps take place, they usually result in hilarity, disaster, and sometimes surprisingly OP uses of another hero's powers that you might not expect. Today we'll be taking a closer look at some of these events as we count down the top 10 superheroes who swapped powers. If you could swap bodies with a superhero, would you? If you would, be sure to give this video a like. And be sure to stick around till the end of this list where I will have some bonus content coming your way. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10. Fusion. You know, I couldn't do a list about swapping superpowers without talking about the miracles of fusion. Whether it's from Steven Universe or Dragon Ball Z, fusion is the awesome premise of not so much swapping powers, but combining them to make you and your teammate stronger together. It's not so much swap as it is share, but like a power swap, it often gives us varying results, with some combined beings being stronger and some struggling to find their footing in battle. In Steven Universe there is one way to fuse, and that is with a fusion dance. But in Dragon Ball Z there are many different kinds of fusion and varying amounts of results that one can get from fusing. But there are also fusion dances. And who doesn't want to see Vegeta or Piccolo dance? You're welcome. Number 9. Batwoman and Batman. While these two superheroes don't really have superpowers, and both are similar to one another, they did have something very different going for them at the time of the swap. During the animated series Batman, the Brave and the Bold, Batwoman had become resentful of Batman after being unmasked by the Riddler and forced into vigilante retirement herself. This version of Batwoman is Katrina Moldoff, a wealthy heiress to the Moldoff circus, and a skilled acrobat and athlete, so maybe a little more flexible than Bruce. Also FYI, not Bruce's cousin. She teamed up with a wizard who helped her to swap bodies with Batman so she could get revenge on the Riddler by killing him while in Batman's body. Gasp. However, her plot was foiled and she ended up arrested, though Batman decided to forgive Katrina, assuring her he'd be there for her when she got out of prison. Swapping powers with Batman would be hard because I feel like his greatest power is actually just his brain, which is usually the thing you keep when you do a swap, your mind. Number 8. Emma Frost and Storm. So before Emma Frost was a hero, she was a villain. And while she is a villain in this story, I'm gonna count her in this power swapping list as she currently is much more hero than villain now in the Marvel Universe. In fact, her villainy was pretty short-lived in regards to how long she's been around for. In Uncanny X-Men Volume 1, Issue 151, she forcibly swapped bodies with X-Men member Storm. Emma enjoys this new body and the new powers that came with it, relishing in her control over the elements. Meanwhile, Storm struggled to get a handle on Emma's telepathy abilities. I wonder if this just goes to show that anything you can do, a telepath can likely do better. Provided, I guess, that they're in your body? They need to be in your body to have your powers, so. But then they'll do better than you. A million times better. Number 7. Daredevil and Dr. Doom. So this story has kind of become one of my current obsessions. It takes place in Daredevil Volume 1, Issue 38, and it's hilarious! I know you might be thinking that Dr. Doom really isn't a hero, but although he's a villain in this story, he sometimes plays the role of hero in the comics. Not this one, but still. So I'm gonna choose to call him a hero this time, mostly so I can share this awesome comic with you. Basically, Dr. Doom wants to infiltrate the Fantastic Four, and decides to swap bodies with Daredevil to do it. He kidnaps Daredevil and places him in really weird traps in order to test him to see if he would be a good fit for the body swap. Daredevil passes with flying colors, and the two swap. Doom in Daredevil's body seems to enjoy his new abilities, and weirdly it does not seem to notice that he is in the body of a blind man. What? Daredevil in Doom's body manages to escape the prison he was originally trapped in because, you know, he looks and sounds just like Doom, so he can just be like, hey guards, let me out. And he threatens Doom by causing to harm Latveria by starting a war while in his body if Doom doesn't swap back. It's odd and fantastic and, well, you should really read it. Oh, and it's also written by Stan Lee. Of course, only Stan Lee would come up with this crazy idea. I miss Stan Lee. Oh no, I made myself sad. Number 6. Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Wolverine. Oh man, this one was a strange one. So here's the story. To teach Wolverine a lesson because he's being too flirty, Jean Grey mind swaps him. She doesn't pick anyone specific, and it is Wolverine's dislike of Spider-Man that apparently somehow has him ending up swapping with Parker. The two basically go around mucking up one another's lives and trying to swap back. The weird thing is poor Peter is put through this for really no reason, and this seems like a fairly cruel move on Jean's part towards Logan. Like, maybe instead of forcing a body swap, try talking to your teammate first about his inappropriate behavior? I don't know. The creepiest thing is that you later find out that while they were swapped, Wolverine in Spidey's body tried to sleep with teenage MJ. Yikes. I mean, I'm not really surprised, but also, what? Number 5. Hulk and Thing. The Hulk and Thing realized that a battle of who is strongest needed a more scientific solution. So what do? Swap bodies. But wait a minute. Don't they essentially have the same powers? How is this swapping? They do have similar abilities, but they have one key difference when it comes to their powers: the restrictions attached to them. Whenever the Thing is fighting Hulk, he often actually holds back as he does not want to hurt the Hulk, who he knows is really just a good guy, but who just can't control himself. Hulk, on the other hand, is restricted by his lack of control, as his strength often comes from his rage-fueled outbursts. The two swapping allowed them to escape their own restrictions and, in a sense, make for a fairer fight. I think we can all guess who's still stronger though. I think we all know. Do I need to say it? I don't need to say it. Number 4. All of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Plus Pip. During the series Guardians of the Galaxy Mother Entropy, the team of Guardians end up swapping bodies when they are being tested by the Mother to see who is best suited to become a new mother that will give birth to a new type of universe. How ominous. One of the tests involves swapping everyone's bodies and dropping them into a bar fight. Pip the Troll and Drax end up swapped, Gamora and Rocket are swapped, so awkward I know, and Star-Lord and Groot also find themselves placed inside one another's bodies. The best is during the fight, everyone is so out of their element without any time to really get used to their new bodies and their powers that they all just kind of suck at fighting now. It's a riot. It's just a literal riot though. It's a riot. Number 3. Emma Frost and Iceman. Emma Frost was currently being treated at the X-Mansion by Iceman when the two were inexplicably hit by a bolt of energy. Mysterious energy. We later found out that this caused them to swap bodies. This was back before Emma was with the X-Men, and awaking in Bobby's body, she thought she had been held prisoner by them and just began to attack the X-Men. Unlike most power swaps so far, where people had to work to get the hang of them, Frost appears to be a natural. Is there anything Emma Frost can't do? I don't know. Why doesn't it surprise me that she would have a natural affinity for ice powers? Emma Frost. Later, when everything was resolved, her prowess with Bobby's powers proved useful, as she was also able to help him gain more control over them himself, proving to us once again how great of a teacher she really is. This was kind of the beginning of her becoming good, so yay. Number 2. Blonde Phantom and She-Hulk. She-Hulk and Wheezy ended up swapping after She-Hulk learned how to perform a mind swap from the Ovoids. They taught her by basically almost like a telekinetic brain surgery on her, which resulted in some psychedelic panels. Seriously, one of my favorite panels in comics is in there. It's great. She was looking to mind swap with Louise so she could inform the others on a spaceship sort of what was going on for her and her group. When her and the now reverted to middle-aged Blonde Phantom did swap, they ended up swapping builds and abilities, though their minds stayed in their own bodies. Jennifer actually had to convince Louise to swap back with her afterward, as Wheezy preferred to keep her She-Hulk strength and her tall, muscular build. But she was dating She-Hulk's dad at the time, who told her he actually preferred her the way that she was, prompting the two ladies to swap back. He probably also didn't fancy being in a relationship with someone who kinda had the exact same shape as his daughter. It's kinda weird. Maybe don't do that, right? He was like, not into it. Number 1. Spider-Gwen and X-23. Despite being from two different universes, these two ended up swapping powers and bodies. It all happened accidentally in the all-new Wolverine Annual issue number 1, when the Red Hornet thought she was targeting Logan and not the new Wolverine, and the two soon managed to meet up back in the main continuity and track down the Red Hornet and make her reverse the swap. But X-23 seemed to be better at using her new spider powers in comparison to Spider-Gwen, who was stuck in her body. During their fight against Red Hornet, Spider-Gwen actually accidentally stabbed herself in the head with her new claws. She's trying to fight like this. Bad idea. Thankfully she healed and was back up on her feet shortly. Keep those away from your face. Keep them away. Thanks so much for watching, Nerd Squad. What were some of your favorite power swaps in the comics? Or body swaps for that matter? Are there any villain and super swaps that you have also loved? Villains becoming heroes, heroes becoming villains, what? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of my latest videos, Top 10 Supervillains Who Became Gods Part 2. Chaotic Wind writes, sliding through nerdom the same way Rick slides between universes. Love the R&M shirt. Thank you. I love it too. It's actually one of my favorite shirts. I was also wondering if anyone else noticed the second nerd reference on the shirt that I was wearing in that video. I'll give you a hint, it's from a video game. Those who go back and think they've got it, comment below and let me know what it is. I want to see where my video game nerds are at. Warm Lily says, Poison Ivy and Harley are so sweet together. They truly are. I ship them all day, every day. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to be featured in a future video. Ooh, the future. And a reminder to like, sub, and share on the way down there. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you to stay nerdy, YouTube. Welcome back. This is me, Bald Amanda. Excuse me as I burp. Those are the powers I get when I fuse with carbonated beverages. Scroll. Jean Grey. Who is that? Old lady Jean Grey. Oh my. Number 4. All of the Guardians, plus Pip. I really should say new Guardians, because it's not like the original Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's fine. Oh, maybe I should have said Guardians of the Galaxy. I just assumed that Guardians is short form for all Guardians of the Galaxy fans. Emma Frost was currently being treated at the X Mansion by Iceman. I feel like I said that really weird. Iceman. Despite what are words? Whoa. Well, I almost said something really not good.